Great day today, you guys. Hey, Philip. Hey, I don't know if you guys know about this, but I just saw this guy. All as it looked like was a wheel, like maybe 18 inches in diameter, and his feet were on both sides of it. And he was hauling ass going down grass. Then he actually went up that hill like it was nothing into nowhere. He had to have been doing 35 miles an hour. Does anybody know what that is? Just a wheel that's got like, it would almost be like a unicycle with no seat. You just stand on it, but I want to get one of those. Beautiful day today. I spent a lot of time with Becky today. Actually, I've always thought Becky was pretty sharp, but she was actually in a double-blind study one time on drug addiction, and Becky's very intelligent. We had a great time today. I saw Sharon, I saw Jeannie, I saw Scrapper John. That's how it works when you're on your way out of town. Hey, Luke. Yeah, it's really nice here. Yep. And really a fun day today. I'm taking Daisy one last run at the park, and I'm gonna head home. I should get home probably around 7:30, 8. And I was getting ready to meet Sharon. I saw two 747s, which I find kind of interesting because I know Delta got out of the freight business, and it was my understanding that transatlantic flights and flights from Asia were not happening. Two 747s in about a 15-minute period. I didn't get the greatest video of them, but I was so excited to see a 4-engine jet that I took a little clip of it. And I talked to Jamie today, twice. And this is really, I'll tell you, this is right up there. I mean, I don't have as much content as you'd think I should have after being here almost a month. I would have been here a month Tuesday. But I sure have learned a lot. And I got quite a few videos today. I'll upload tonight when I get home, which will be much faster than when I'm was at the hotel. It rained like hell here. See, this mud is so damn slippery. See some slob left this McDonald's thing here. Water's high, of course. They got a ton of rain. I'm gonna throw this away. Can't believe people like this. Oh, Becky was feeling good today. Just had an excellent, we had an excellent, very fun breakfast. Becky is sharp, man. I'm telling you, we never talked about science and stuff like we did today, and I was not surprised, but I'm just saying it was good, and I'm keeping an eye on Jamie, and Daisy's doing well. Yeah, I would never take anybody back with me just to write out without detox and some rehab and some methadone program lined up or whatever, but I'm realizing that a big part of the problem is getting away from the area, and that's really the only way I do it. Honestly, I'd rather not do it, but if I could help somebody, especially someone that's messing around with heroin and Xanax, like Jamie, I would give it a shot. I've offered Sharon today, Becky, Jamie, anybody that needs to get out of Dodge, you're welcome to come up and live at my house if they want. It's no problem. I tell them right out of the chute, the only strings attached is that you come and go, and you pretend I'm not there when you see me. Just like I want to, that way I can have no problem with it. But if people want to hang around, they're going to have their own TV and own room and everything, that's no problem. It won't cost them anything. I live in a good area for somebody to try to get away from that. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't any heroin and Xanax, but there isn't much. And, that experience with Jamie, really, I learned a lot from that. As you know from her first interview, she had a very traumatic childhood, and I just Becky didn't. It's weird. So there's lots of ways you can get there. Becky is actually contemplating a change, and actually got a little emotional when I offered for her to live there. She was flattered by the fact that I would trust her. Hey, I got no problem with trust with any of these people, and I think that's one of the attractions. I'm not saying I'm not going to get a broke off in my ass, but with Tassie, Becky, uh, Sharon, Jamie. Now, I'm not saying they'll say I'm not taking any drugs and they take drugs. That's not the kind of trust I'm talking about. I'm talking about like people really solidly have your back, you can count on. I even said to Becky today, I said, if you came up there that, I'm not going to be trying to get in your pants or any weird shit. She said, oh, please. Don't you think I know that by now? It's like, well, I'm just checking. Same with Jamie or anything. I'd take Marguerite up there if she wanted to go. I really would. Hey, Rita. Well, this water's high today. Be a great day for floating down the river. I'll tell you, when I was a kid on this river, we never had current like this. Once every 25 years, we'd get a flood, but nothing like this all year round. I mean, the weather has definitely changed in my lifetime. Hey, Survivor Girl. I'm at Willow Park, Huron Township. Probably a new Boston mailing. It's a chain of parks that belong to the Huron-Clinton Park Authority. It's an interesting place. There's actually a book, those little books that they write on different towns and places. I have the one on Woodmere Cemetery. I've got the one from the town where I live, Flat Rock, and they actually have the Metro Parks. I have that book as well. It's interesting how it came to fruition and how it's funded and blah blah blah. I like this one because it's no frills. Oh, that's okay, Mary. How you doing? Have you taken any photos yet? You got that down? Oh, okay, Pam. Yeah, I went down there and didn't see her. And the one thing that worries me, or I should say concerns me, is that Poncho's is closed. And I mean, there's basically nothing to eat now, other than the Shell station. Yeah, it's true, Sammy. No, it's actually big, beautiful clouds. Not really overcast, big, puffy, high moisture content clouds. I guess it got kind of cool last night, which it's going to be cool up where I go, which is fine with me. Really, I think summer's okay. That's about the most excited I could get. I look forward to it coming after a long winter, but I look forward to winter coming more. I hope we just get blitzed with blizzard after blizzard. How you doing, hon? Yeah, I think you should do it, Margaret. Yeah. I'd like to know how that Sir Graves is doing. He had some cancer, and they got it all, and was doing well, and then kind of disappeared. So I hope there isn't. Hope he's not having problems with that. I haven't seen him down there either, but he could be laid off because, he works for the city. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Becky's. Well, you didn't see it because, let's see, did I do that live? No, I taped it, so I'll upload those tonight. Becky's in a great mood today. We had a super good time. Very great, interesting discussion of different things. Yeah, definitely a laptop. There's a place called Adamant, Adamant. They're in Cleveland, Ohio. Look them up on eBay. You can buy through eBay. You can buy through them directly. Excellent company. They don't use junk parts. They're super competitively priced. You can call them directly, like me. For the last 15 years, I've went strictly with Asus. ASUS. That's the laptop I use now. and if I replace it, I would definitely get another one. I've had 3 in a row, and they're excellent computers. That's who makes those laptops for Microsoft too. Asus makes those notebooks or books or whatever the hell they call them. They got some name for Nikon. Nikon, or not Nikon, for Microsoft laptops. Microsoft something, but I love them. I think they're great. Now, I'm assuming because you're on the road a lot, you're going to get a laptop, and you can get a big bang for your buck. With the kind of camera that you have now, and if you're going to do some video, even like you can get a killer laptop that'll handle what you're going to do for a very reasonable price. They have a good warranty too. Yeah, I would highly recommend Asus. Oh, thank you, Survivor Girl. Yeah, I mean, if you look at their feedback, I mean, when you deal on eBay, you can look at my eBay sometime if you want. I have sold things, maybe not as much as I bought, but it's Detroit River. It's one word. And man, when you can have the kind of feedback they have, because there's just a group of people out there, kind of like the stalkers I have, that are going to cause trouble and try and get stuff for free no matter what you do. So I'm sure they've been over a few times based on their excellent feedback by the X amount of people that are always there looking for something for nothing. But I highly recommend that company. I really do. I sold cased images, daguerreotypes, ambrotypes, tintypes, stained glass. Probably sold 1,000 things over a 22-year period, but mostly bought. You know what though? Maybe I bet I haven't sold 1,000 things. Come to think of it, I probably sold. Well, maybe I did between 500 and 1,000, because some people would buy multiple lots of things that I had. But I don't think there's any money in eBay anymore. It's a pain in the ass. It basically favors the crook out there now. The seller can't leave negative feedback. They got you by the balls. If you got someone out there scamming or looking something for nothing, the way that the system's set up is to protect the ripoff. eBay's not at all for the seller, they're for the buyer. And if anybody's going to get it in the ass, it's going to be you, not them. And it certainly isn't going to be the buyer. So it's nothing compared to what it used to be. It's like anything, it had a shelf life, and I think the good days are behind it. Yeah, I never messed with it for vehicles. You're probably right. And I buy a lot of books off eBay. If you look at my feedback, you probably got my last purchases have been, I did buy a couple SD cards. And I figured it out on 4K. I get an hour of video on a 128 gigabyte SD card, which is nothing. So that goes to show you. So I want to have a couple extras. I bought a 5 terabyte external micro hard drive while I was in town. And of all the stuff that I've done since I've been here, I actually have uploaded, which I think has been kind of a light trip. I've been here almost a month, but I have on that external hard drive, I have 1 terabyte of stuff. That's mainly because of 4K and 45 megapixel photos that I've taken. But that goes to show you how you can chew up space very quick. Mary, on the computer part, I would suggest to you, I could tell you what I would do if I was going to replace my laptop, because you can get a custom computer made. You think, oh, that's going to be expensive. It's not. They've got everything there. You can jack up the RAM. You can get a super processor, and there's ways around it. Yeah, I left Detroit, yep. But I'm going to, and I brought Daisy out to her park, checked out of my hotel, uploaded everything, and I will dick around here for a half hour probably. I'm tired, man. I haven't been getting much sleep. I was with Jamie last night. We had dinner together and shot the shit for a few hours. till like 3:30 in the morning. I didn't get to bed till 4:30. Then I got up at 9:30, and Jamie's got a good outlook. Sweet girl. Yeah, this is an excellent park. I've brought dogs here for my whole life. Before this dog, Daisy, I had two miniature greyhounds that I got based on my living situation. They were kitty litter box trained. I say kitty litter box trained. That's like 70%. Those small, fidgety, nervous dogs, now here's a guy with a dog, are hard to housebreak. And I would say that if you can get 90%, you're still going to have 10% accidents. But I got tile floors put in because of it. But I used to bring them out here, and they'd run around this whole outer perimeter of this park as far as you could see, and then they'd come back to me and they'd be tired, and I'd take them home. I eventually had to put them both to sleep within about 6 months of each other for, just the difficulties you have with purebred dogs. Organ failure with one, and real bad kidney problems that led to organ failure with him, and it sucks. But in a way, pets are at more of an advantage of human beings when it comes to quality of life at the end. I was glad I was able to do it, but it was still sucked. Hey, Diane. Yeah, she did beat me. Well, we got separated that day, and I think Daisy's the smartest dog that ever lived, but sure enough, she went back to the van, was sitting near the door, and I called her, and she came running. Right now, she's got a memory and a half. Not that this was that long ago, but there's a groundhog that she was able to sink her teeth into his ass a couple weeks ago, and this is where she was gone that night when I was looking for her. She's come back to the well for another opportunity. And she'll sit and stalk and hide in the weeds and wait for him to come out and all sorts of stuff. That's what she's doing right now. Yeah, she's just a smart dog. Oh, Delia, okay. Now, see, even last night when Jamie came over, Daisy can be a really super aggressive dog, and as I've said, she bit a lot of people at the beginning, including trying to bite me. I'll give you an example. Like last night, I just don't think she likes people around me that much. She tolerates women more than men. But like last night, Jamie sat on the bed, and Daisy was like, okay. And then Jamie went to grab her hairbrush, and Daisy makes this real high-pitched short bark. And I know what's coming next. The next thing is, if you do that, whatever you were doing, she's going to want to bite you. So I just kind of moved her away. But I tell people, don't trust her. Just stick your hand out and let her smell it, because she's like a real protective dog. When somebody comes in the room, she'll sit between me and them, right down near my feet. And if they get up quick, she'll be right on it. It's kind of cute, but we were at Aldi's, ALDIS on Michigan Avenue and Livernois in Detroit. Becky ate the hell out of her breakfast. Got a big old breakfast. I got a big one too, but I give the meat to Daisy. Yeah, you're right, Rachel. That's exactly right. Dogs are royalty. That's how they were trained. That's why I'm pretty sure she's like that Lhasa Apso Shih Tzu, one of those. There's a couple things that give her away. Her face, she likes to smash her face into your hand, which is a sign. And but she still like weighs a lot and has something else mixed in her. I'm not sure what, but whatever the hell it is, it'd be a great designer dog. Jamie's doing much better. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot better. Well, there goes a flicker bird. Hey, Del One. Oh yeah, she'll go after. She'll chase anything: ground moles, squirrels, deer, big time. She loves to chase things. She likes being chased too. Yep. Hear those birds up there talking? I gotta get over here with my camera sometime. This would be a good spot. A lot of them seem to like hanging out in that bear tree. Yeah, I mean, I think Becky and I get a pretty good friendship, to be honest with you. And on the Gary perfume thing, I mean, it's looking to me like Gary is he's an older guy, and I I this is my take on it, and I could be wrong. I don't think he's real computer savvy. And I know you don't need to be computer savvy to operate an email program. I mean, Gary's got AOL for God's sakes. I do too. But I just think, I mean, I don't, I just think he's an older guy that just, and he's not a crook, and I don't think he's going to rip you off. I just think that uh, he may not be on it like he should be for a traditional online business. Goes to 767. Yeah, my excuse for it is I've had it like since I started out, and every once in a while someone will contact me, try to contact me. I actually didn't have it for a couple of years, and I thought, you know what, for $4 a month or whatever the hell it is, I don't want to have that happen because I'd handed that out, and there were some old clients that would try to get a hold of me. And you know, when you got 10 companies soliciting you, and you just tried my email and it didn't work, they're not going to go to a lot of trouble to track me down. So I just reenacted it and kept it, and that's why I have it. I kind of use that as a fourth browser sometimes. Beautiful days, right? Oh, that's cool, Telly. You know, I don't know how Marguerite's doing. I guess I've learned through the chat that she's in the hospital. I don't know which hospital or when, and you know, I would have followed up on that more while I was here. But you know, you can forget getting into a hospital now with this COVID stuff. I don't care what the relationship is. So I will figure that out when I get home and send her something. Yeah, people they don't understand. You know, it's like Down syndrome Debbie, who I feel sorry for. I mean, I think she's been able to like she can come off as fairly normal here and there, but I think it all adds up now. I mean, after all, Debbie's a dependent on her mother's income tax. You know, I think that we're getting a clearer picture of why she is the way she is. Hey, Russian chick. How you doing, Russian chick? Yeah, you know, Cindy Marguerite doesn't want a little apartment. It's no kidding. Oh, that rain was great. You know, I can't even tell you the last time I saw rain like that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's been forever. They need rain around here. See, Daisy's doing the groundhog hunt. Yeah, Rachel's a nice name. I know, it's beautiful. It really is. No, she doesn't want one. Nope. I see some of these discs. I don't call it a frisbee, disc something. I see these guys out here practicing a lot. They all have like special bags for their discs and stuff. Man, I'll tell you, these guys, the women too, it's unbelievable how far they throw these damn things. I mean, they're smaller than a frisbee. They look like they're heavier, so I'm sure that helps. Oh yeah, don't worry about that, Rachel. She shouldn't be calling you that. Yeah, disc golf. Yep. There are a lot of people out here with dogs today. Oh, it is, huh, Julie? Oh, okay. That guy looks like he's got a big old pit bull over there. Daisy's got her going full turbo on her smelling. You smell it, hon? Has a woodchuck been here, hon? Yeah, she is. Yeah, I gotta cut Daisy's hair. I'm gonna try and do that tonight. Yeah, these cooler days are better. I'll catch up with you, Alana, too. I know I said I'd send you some things, and I'll do that within a couple days of getting home, or just bring it with me when I come back. Oh yeah, woodchuck lives in here somewhere. Yeah, it's Daisy making those noises. That's when she's got the turbo smell on. I've seen Daisy before, whatever it is she's trying to get. She'll crawl in the bushes and lay flat on her stomach, waiting for him to come out. I think she's got allergies a little bit. Not bad. Yeah, if we were home and this was in those woods near me, she'll stay out 10 hours doing this. She used to chase the cats, the feral cats, and then it got to where they quit running and she'd go up and they'd hiss and they wouldn't run anymore, so she just gave up on them. They don't, she acts like they're not even there now. It's true, Julie. Oh, okay, well, that's cool. When I was going to interview Sharon today, there were two 747s flew over. Couldn't believe it. I'm gonna look that up when I get home, see where they were coming from. I haven't seen a 747 in the air since, geez, even way before COVID. There's not that many of them around anymore. What's that, Donna? Surely Marguerite doesn't want a room. People have tried that before. She's going to tell you yeah, and you're going to pay for the room, and she'll never go there, even if you give her a Uber pass to go and back and forth. Hey, Sunkist, how you doing? Yeah, Shirley, yeah. Yeah, there's still some 747 800s, which really never made any sense to me. You look at the A380, there's a 767. The four-engine jet is over. Oh, good for you. You feeling good, hon? You feeling good? Mary, are you taking some pictures? You're right, Sammy. Yeah, Eric, you have the PO box, don't you? Yeah, well, I've been messing around with avian. I liked planes since I was a kid. I like watching them. People always think, well, God, how do you know those planes? I'll tell you how you know. You get around them and you start paying attention. It's just like bird watching. If you're not into them, one plane looks like another when it's in the air. But when you get into them, like with birds, you start to notice the difference when they're flying, when they land, their profile. And that's the same way with engines. Generally, what it's so easy to figure out, there aren't that many differences now. It's the positioning of the engines on the wing and their tail. Oh, here comes a sheriff on a quad thing. Hope he's not out here to write me a ticket. I've never seen these guys out here like this. I've never seen a guy out here like this. Well, you can write that other guy one first. See him right there? On that quad thing? No, I don't think for having a dog without a leash. No, that guy doesn't have his dog on a leash either. He might be trying to nail that guy on that wheeled thing driving around. That may be considered some no-no on a walking trail. And it just comes out of here so quick sometimes it washes away all this dirt. I've never seen a guy in a four-wheel thing out here. Yeah, Mary, those lenses, they're all like, I forgot how I packaged it, to say the truth. You can just put you want to put the first lens, you want to put a VR lens on there, one of the VR lenses. That you're not going to need the only lens you're going to need a tripod for, and not all the time, is that big long lens. And there's a white dot on the lens, and there's a white dot on the camera, and you line those up, and then you turn it counterclockwise to lock it in, and clockwise to take it off. There's a button you push that releases the mechanism. See 757. See how close the engines are to the fuselage? Yeah, VR. Yeah. Now you'll use the other lens for different applications later, but that's why I didn't really need a tripod. 95% of the time you'll be using that one lens. But there'll be times like, let's say you're in Pennsylvania and you want to get some good shots of the Amish. You want to use that long lens because it will allow a photograph to have lens compression. You know how you can see like the hills going away and you see the cart and the buggy in the distance and it's all look, you can see like a long area. That's what makes that look that way. The other lenses, they will look too far away. You can never get all that in the focal plane. Yeah, right. Anti-vibration. Yep. I'm dreading driving home. Normally I wouldn't. I mean, I'm going the opposite way of traffic. Man, but I'm tired as hell. And another concern, not a huge concern, but a concern is that when I'm driving north, the sun's setting in the west, and it will absolutely broil myself with the window down. I burned my sun leg going back, my left leg about 3 months ago, and it's still like, looks like it messed up that skin. And I don't want to have that bright sun to the west for 185 miles, broiling me with the window down. I can bring the visor down and keep it from hitting me in the head, but it still like makes everything hot. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, it's a great camera. You look at that camera. It's one of those unique designs that was way ahead of its time. And if I wasn't going to print images like I'm going to do a Marguerite and Becky and stuff this fall, I would have never got a new camera. It's printing is where you'll know the difference. But if you're going to do internet stuff and uploading and computer, you got just as good a camera as I do. I do put Daisy in the water when it's real hot. There's people over there having a picnic today, and it's not that hot, so I probably won't do it. Yeah, you're right. I could do that. It's not going to be a problem with my legs so much, but like your neck area and stuff. Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. Yeah, I should do that. But it's like anybody getting sunburn. All of a sudden you get caught in a scenario to where, you coulda, woulda, shoulda, you wish you'd have done that. And, you just kind of tough it out. Sure enough, I burnt the shit out of my damn leg, and like where my knee is, my left leg. And it was because the sun was coming like from behind me, just shining perfect down there like that for like an hour. If you're out like in a place like this, your brain tells you get the hell out of that sun. So you move. You go under a tree or behind a building. But when you're driving, it's like you got to go that way. So it's like everything. That's how airplane accidents happen. A bunch of shit comes together. You're tired. You don't want to pull over looking for a towel. You're thinking, well, it's not going to be that bad. And an hour later, you've realized you've broiled your leg. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Isn't that the truth? What I find where the biggest fuck ups come is when you're tired. I don't care whether it's uploading video, editing video. Like the other night, I was tired up with Jamie, and I shut the goddamn computer off in the middle of a long upload. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? How could you be so stupid? You just turned the computer off. And I'm thinking, well, I better go to bed now. I just tired. If I wouldn't have been tired, I wouldn't have shut the computer off. Now the good news is YouTube has a mechanism to keep track, so the upload picks up where it dropped off when you shut the computer off. But it was a couple hours later I realized, you dumbass, why'd you shut that computer off? And I turned it back on and put a towel over the screen. I've been taking these Claritin D. The good news is I feel so much better and have so much more energy. The bad news is I can't take a nap when you're on that shit. Yeah, baby, yep. Yeah, I get sunburn, I sure do, yeah. Yep. But like I was saying the other day, when you're growing up and you're going through life and you're young and you're out there looking for girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever you're into, and you're flossing and you're brushing your teeth and you're using sunscreen and all that shit. And the idea behind that is so that you live a normal, full life without the consequences of being neglectful to your body. Well, you know what? I'm at that age now where all that stuff that I did paid off. And now that I'm at that age, I've kind of dropped my guard, not with my teeth, but kind of with sunscreen and stuff, because honest, if I had the best looking skin in the world for a 64-year-old, would it look that much different than the worst looking skin in the world for a 64-year-old? And the answer is no. So when it comes to like getting sunburned sometimes, if I was 24, it's like, God, I don't want to look like that when I'm 35 and everybody thinking I'm 55. That's why you protect yourself. But now that I'm at the end of the road, I got to where I protected myself so I could make it to this age. And now that I'm there, the amount of effort is disproportionate to the relief that I'm going to get for what I'm going to do. So now if I get a sunburn at 64, I don't really give a shit, because it's the difference between a handbag and an old marble bag you found in the junk. It's not, the same marbles aren't on the table that were when I was younger. I made it to this point. It's stupid, but that's my thinking on it. No, your mother. No, POD, you dumbass. You're thinking again. Yeah, I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, like I see these women that they're like 80 years old and they're walking around with a sunbonnet, and they're like the old Victorian women that didn't want to have the sun hit their face. Well, I've seen the face of an 84-year-old that was out in the sun all the time, and I saw one that was never in the sun, and there's, I hate to break it to you, but not much difference. What you're protecting yourself for is you don't want to look 55 when you're 35. Well, that's all behind me now. No, it's not. I mean, I take care, like, I haven't really watched them. I'm eating more red meat than I probably should, and I don't protect my son as good as I should. But my teeth I do, and I still get a colonoscopy, and I'm gonna get back in shape this fall, and I'm not a workout nut like I used to be. I'll tell you why, because if you've been into weightlifting like I have my whole life, the fun of it is getting bigger and stronger and all that shit. Well, it's no secret that as you age, this kind of goes away. I can tell you this, that I know that I've lost probably 60% of my punching power. And this is easy to quantify, which sucks. And there's nothing I can do about that. And I'm nowhere near as strong as I used to be. And my muscle building days are over. So I have a hard time getting motivated to feel like lifting weights, because I just don't want to be one of these old guys with a big pot belly jumping up and down on a Richard Simmons mini trampoline, because that's not why I did it all those years. I liked being strong and all that shit. And I still think I'm in pretty good shape for my age, but I'm never going to be in young guy shape. I've accepted that. So with this kind of thinking in mind, what happens to someone my age is that I will always work to the point where I'm going to injure myself, because I'm just not in there to do, the Richard Simmons splits. And at this age, you will work yourself into an injury because you're always trying to increase and get better or bigger or whatever. So that's kind of, my rationale in like not being balls out like I used to be. That a girl, survivor girl. Yeah, I don't really mind aging, because I think my mental outlook has gotten a lot better. You know, you don't have all that testosterone. You're not doing stupid shit, getting into relationships. You know, you're on that final slalom. Come here, Days. Come on, get out of the sun, hon. Come on. Daisy girl. There's more people out here than there usually is. Great day, you know. Nice day to walk around. Yeah, she's just up here dinking around. She appreciates this cool weather too. Come here, hon. Daisy girl. Yeah, I mean, the truth of it is maybe I do look 64, maybe I don't. But to be honest with you, at this stage of the game, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't, there wouldn't be any differences for me if I looked 84 and I'm only 64, or if I looked 54 when I'm really 64. It's like, I mean, I guess it's a compliment, thanks, but uh, I don't, you know, when you're not out chasing ass or trying to date, it's really kind of off the table. It doesn't matter if I look older, younger, look my age, whatever. Like, I mean, I don't see any. So what? Breakfast was good. No, I never check the weather because I'm going home no matter what, and it's the worst thing that's going to be is getting broiled through that west setting sun. But I don't have that much of it. I would like to head home a little. Days, come over here, hon. Here's a couple kids running. There's another flicker flying around. These young kids just running their ass off. Come on, Daisy. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yeah, I'm fine with looking my age too. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. But I think these things like looks really matter when you're young and you don't know any better, and you see what looks get people, and it provides you opportunities. You know, if you're okay looking or good looking or whatever. And once that's behind, like a guy like me, like I tell people, that's my famous saying. I don't want anything from anybody. I mean, if you think I look 100 or you think I look 40, it's not going to matter. So that's why I don't really pay much attention to it. No, I don't think so. To be honest with you, you know, I kind of been this way my whole life. I mean, just kind of like, I don't know, it's my upbringing or genetics or what. The whole kind of family worked out that way. I mean, like I seem like a really good guy on, you know, what I do, and I know what I'm like. I think I am, like, with the things that I do with people, but I don't think I'm such a great guy to have a relationship with. I really don't. I was hoping that maybe that would change. I don't know if it's my, like I said, my upbringing or what, but I knew when I got married it was kind of an ultimatum, and I thought, man, I'm not going to have opportunities like this very often, so I just went with it. And I'm not. If you met my wife, you'd think I was crazy for leaving her. Well, I have paperwork. She's got me on the argument with that now because she can document it with mental health records. But you would think a lot of her if you met her, and that wasn't. I don't want to say not good enough, but I could see this marriage shit is not for me. And then, you know, when I moved to Chicago, I think I was like 42 or something, which was paradise for women if you were into that. And I can remember thinking, you know, I'm just really not into this shit that much, like having somebody around. You know, when I was young, I didn't know any better. And as I matured, I thought, I just don't think this is for me. And my sister's kind of like that way. My dad and mother were that way. So I think it's a culmination of things. I'm not complaining. I just think that's the way it turned out. I mean, like I always say, I could be a quadriplegic. So, I mean, I got a lot to be thankful for that the way life's worked out for me, it could have been an entirely different outcome. Yeah, but I think mental health it does. But I mean, I think it's there's organic reasons for it, genetics, and like look at a girl like Jamie being put into prostitution and heroin at 14, losing your kids. I get that mental strife, and luckily I didn't go the drug route, but I could have. And when I see people, I see a girl like that, 29, and what the baggage she carries, Becky too. And I think, man, you should experience a better life than this. And that's what motivates me, I guess. It's not some pie in the sky or. And here's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because, I think it would be. I think it's a completely reasonable thing to bring up that if you didn't know me, if you know me, you wouldn't think anything. But if you didn't know me, I could understand someone's skepticism about, what's this guy really up to? Like with the Jamie thing, if I'd have had my druthers, that would have never happened. But at the time, in that situation, and not knowing anything about heroin and Xanax and her behavior at the time, I thought, you know what? I'm not leaving this girl alone over there. And people are going to think it's weird and inappropriate and that, we stay in the same hotel and that's my motive. That's not what happened at all. As it turned out, it worked out just like I had hoped. Jamie didn't overdose. Jamie felt much better the next day. We talked today, and that's what I hoped. But, weird things happen. People, they don't like me for different reasons. They'll call, sex trafficking hotlines, try and get me in trouble with the cops. But I don't really worry about it because I fully expected that night to have the police show up. And, I know the owners of that place. I know the manager. I've been staying there. I'm not worried about anybody tricking the police into think something bad's going on. But if they'd have knocked on the door, I'd have said, hey, come on in. I don't blame you. This is your job. I'd know that it's somebody causing trouble, but they don't know that. And if they'd have wanted to check things out, that was fine with me. It didn't happen. I don't think that means that somebody didn't call. But, I deal with that all the time. You guys saw the swatting at the Mexican restaurant, and I know they've done this stuff with sex trafficking and, enabling and buying people drugs and all that stuff, which is bullshit. But I know what I'm doing, and, push come to shove, they can hook me up to a polygraph any day they want and ask questions away. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not going to not do something because some moron out there is trying to cause me trouble. Yeah, I do care for him. No, it's not. Honest to God, it's not sexual one bit. I mentioned this the other day, and I think about this like so often. Like I'm not like a religious guy at all. I wouldn't even say I'm spiritual, but I am so thankful and so grateful that I don't think like some of these people do. Because I don't think you can help it, and I don't think it has much to do with where you came from. Sometimes, actually, I think I would be a perfect candidate to be like a guy like who would be trying to hustle young girls and stuff based on my upbringing, and I'm not. And I'm so thankful of that. I'm telling you, with Becky, I even said to Becky today, which I mentioned earlier, I said, if you came up here, I'm not going to be trying to hit you up for blowjobs and sex. She said, oh, please. Don't you think I know that by now? And as I said, I notice like with people like Jamie, once that clicks in their mind that where I'm coming from, and the same thing with Andy, the old curtain comes down and it's more like little girls around me that feel good than someone feeling that they're going to get hustled some way, which is exactly how I want it. I can't tell you anybody that's ever expressed any concern about, getting weird vibes from me because I don't give them off. I mean, there's no tricks here. It's not like, Daisy, there's the Daisy, here she is right now. Over here, hon. Over here, honey. There's no tricks here. Come on over here, hon. Get in the shade. Come on, honey. I think she did feel safe. Yeah, she told me that. She told me that later. She told me the next morning, gave me a hug, and said, "You took care of me last night, and I appreciate it." Oh, I do love Mother Nature, big time. Yeah, yeah. What I'm glad for is that they don't even default to thinking that's a possibility. And like I say, there's never any jokes or none of that shit. I think if any of the women that you guys know that I interviewed, if even if I was doing it on April Fools and I said, all this time's went by and I'd never mentioned this, but God, how about we do something? I think they would laugh and think I was kidding and not believe it, and would be so weirded out by it because all this time they got the vibe that I wasn't like that. Uh, it's really worked out just perfect. Oh, she's a great dog. Yeah. Yep. No innuendos at all. I think you're right, Johnny Pie. I think they do. That's what they all say. They find it disgusting. One thing that interests me, and that is how, and I guess men probably do this too, but what interests me with women is how they disassociate an entire lifetime of getting an idea what's right or wrong, and how when that heroin takes over, they can disassociate themselves with that being a sexual act. I mean, Jamie told me, and this is something I don't think she'd mind me sharing. She's never had intercourse with a trick, never. That's one thing she's not doing. Sharon is never tricked, and she's a heroin addict. So, people still, stick to their guns on some deals, but it's the hardest job in the world. Just watching Jamie and considering where she came from, uh, I can tell you when you're doing those drugs, you're just a zombie laying around in bed, half awake, 24/7. Brushing your teeth seems like an impossibility. Just looking for that damn high. All of them will tell you, and you can read about this yourself. Heroin's the devil. That's well put. Yeah, $200 a day is hard. It's hard because, especially when you're trying to keep a roof over your head, it's very, poor Jamie has her room like set up like a little room and you'd expect in a house. And here's a day by day hotel. She doesn't want to be sleeping under bridges anymore. And any guys that try to get you to sleep with them, stay with them, it's always some bullshit deal. Even for the girls that work Michigan Avenue, you think you're getting a shower or a meal or washing your clothes. It's a blow job or a hand job, or it never ends. Everything down there is a trade, a barter of some kind, and not in a good way. Yeah, I think things are looking up for Jamie. This guy's gonna race his kid. Not for long, I'll bet. I am starting to get money from YouTube views. That's true. It's paying my expenses actually. Yeah, some guys, not all. That's right. There's exceptions with everything. No matter what you're doing. But I can tell you this: I don't know of too many incidents down there in Detroit. A lot of times people will come across and they seem like good guys, and then you find out what's really going on. A couple nights on their couch and it's a blow job or some shit like that. Yeah, and like I said, these women disassociate themselves with uh, the act itself and a means to get, a means to an end, and it's got to chip away at your self-esteem. They deserve better. Yeah, it hijacks your brain, heroin. It sure does. Yeah, I mean, if you looked at my YouTube thing as a traditional business example, It'll be a long time before I ever get out of the hole, which I'm fine with. Now you're going to see isolated videos, and I'll tell you, YouTube is less and less. They didn't demonetize me, but they considered most of my content not suitable for most advertisers, which that social blade has no way of distinguishing. So if I got millions of views, a million views on making cookies, it'd be great. But it doesn't work out that way. Although it is getting better, they're dinging me less and less and less. For the people out there that upload videos, that you know what I'm talking about. When you get the yellow dollar sign, you're screwed. I think part of the reason is like YouTube now, you grade yourself before you upload content, and they give you a report at the end of the month. And I've been 100% honest with them. Like when I put a song on the radio, it's demonetized automatically. When I'm honest about the content I'm uploading, and at least according to them, I've gotten like a or 100% or whatever you want to call it with regard to them validating what I claim on an upload. So maybe that has something to do with it. It's like, hey, this guy's doing a pretty good job of policing himself, so we're not going to fuck with him. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know that the way it's happened, but I can tell you that things are getting better and better and better for me. So I'm just happy that it's paying my expenses. My hotel and my gas, and I'm not counting my cameras and time, of course, is forget that or anything else, but I'm fine. Like, I mean, it's truly been like a hobby. Penny was murdered. Becky's doing great. Super. She's doing fantastic. She had a great day. Looked good. Johnny, I don't know. I don't know on that. It's a synthetic opioid, so it's a good question. My guess would be it's the same, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, we just lay on this cool grass, honey. We'll just lay on this cool grass for a while, hon. Oh, that's Kimmy that just texted me. She had pneumonia and was in the hospital, which we knew, but I'll give her a call when this chat's off. I don't know, Kimberly. I don't see Maddie that much. I was down there a few times, but that area's dead. And they have their own channel now, and I think it's going okay. I saw them when I first got down here. But let's see, I've been down here, Tuesday. So I've been down here 26 days, I guess. I saw them at the very beginning. When I did that photo album thing with Marguerite. I didn't see Melissa. I talked to her briefly, but I didn't. I saw her maybe 10 days ago. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good, Becky. Becky's very sensitive to comments, so I try and keep an eye on. But like I've said before, YouTube comment thing is, they got the mobile app that you use on a phone and one you'd use on a desktop or a laptop. And I can go in there sometimes and clear them all out, read every message, every one that's went into spam. I can go onto my laptop or desktop. I won't have any questions to answer or delete or anything. Then go to my mobile app and there'll be entirely different questions. Some the same, but some different. I'll clear that out, make sure there's nothing left to do. Go on a half hour later, and I'll find comments that are 3 hours old that didn't show up on either platform. So there are comments that sneak through that I don't catch, and I don't know what to do about it. I mean, because when you don't see them in an organized format like that in the question section, it'd take me like a million years to go through my videos and scroll down through what people said automatically. So it's just unfortunate, but people say, well, why would you let that comment stay up there? Well, I did because I didn't see it. Believe me, I spend about 3 hours a day. It's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, and the last thing I do when I go to bed, and that's delete negative comments and block people. Oh, thank you. Okay, I appreciate it. Oh, okay. Well, good. I wish the best for them. I really do. Hey, Gary, how you doing? You never know, Jane. You never know. I always go with hoping they are, but you never really know. Janice is a sweet girl. Really got like an innocence about her. And by the way, somebody asked me that. I'm glad you said that because, for a while I just quit having anything to do with them, and I've told you why. I'll tell you again. The last time I saw them, I mean, not the last time because I've seen them on this trip. I went up to them and I had things, and here you go. And it's like, hey, a lot of people don't like you out there. Yeah, okay, I know that. Yeah. It's like the guy at the Citgo station said you're a big enabler. Oh, okay, it doesn't surprise me. And you're making a lot of money. Oh, okay, all right. And I thought to myself, well, we can end this. And then the boyfriend, Casey, said that people think you're an exploiter. Well, you know what? You've brought up about 4 things in a row, so I think this relationship should probably come to an end. And that wasn't all of it either. I had I had contacted them a couple of times, and they never returned my phone call. Or when they know that I have something for them, they drive me crazy with text, calls, whatever. So between that and the comments they made, I thought, fuck them. You're not going to be able to. I even offered to help them start their own channel. I put all the photos I took of them on an SD card and gave them to them. So when you bring up that many things to me in one meeting, and you don't return my phone calls when I know you can, that speaks volumes to me, and I think it's time we probably go down a different path. So he actually approached me about that while I was down here, which I discussed on a live. If you go back and listen to it, and I spelled it out to him. And then Jana approached me yesterday. I didn't look her up. So Casey explains it away as a misunderstanding. Okay, I'm happy to have this water over the dam, but I mean, I wouldn't mind interacting with them. But if you're thinking that's where I'm coming from, then we might as well just go our separate ways. So I'm willing to give them another bite at the apple. I don't think it's like some big, great overture on my part, but maybe it was a misunderstanding. Didn't seem that way to me, but I'm willing to interact with them again if they want to. Hey, May. No, I'm not. I wish I was. I will be in a few hours. Daisy will be too. That's Dad's sidekick. Oh, yeah. That's Daisy's sidekick, Tom. And to be honest with you, that happened one time with Maddie and Gerald. There was a time where I wasn't talking to them, and that really involved a video they'd uploaded about Marguerite. And when I first asked Marguerite about it, she said, well, it's a bunch of bullshit I'm going to talk to them about. So once she told me that, I thought, well, I'm not going to talk to them anymore. What a shitty thing to do. Then I was lucky enough to have all 3 of them on camera at the same time, and I said, hey, Marguerite, what's the deal with this bullshit in this video? Did that bother you at all? No, I didn't care. We were all getting high, and, they just happened to be, okay, well, once Marguerite's fine with it, there goes my stake in anything. So I started talking to Maddie and Gerald again, but, I don't want to seem rude about it, but the minute that I can sense that someone thinks that they're doing me a favor by talking to them, or it's connected to views or something, and that's on your mind and that's bothering you, I think we ought to just head down our separate path. What I found that's nice accidentally is I think that these women enjoy having their photograph taken, and they all seem flattered by it. And I'll tell you what does it. If I said, can I take your picture? They'd say, yeah, okay, a half-ass. But honestly, what seems to change their demeanor is the way that I do that. I got a pretty decent camera, and even though it may look like it takes time, it doesn't take any time at all. It takes me about 15 seconds to take those photos, maybe less, maybe 10 seconds. I say, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some photos of you, and I'm going to hold the shutter button down. You're going to hear it clicking away, and I just want you to slowly turn your head to the left, to the right, up, down. Give me a big smile. That's what I say. So you may think, as a non-camera person, that these are a bunch of separate shots where I'm having them looked at. It's not. The whole thing takes 10 seconds. And the minute they hear that shutter clicking away, and I'm asking them to turn up, left, and smile, they really seem to enjoy it. I could be wrong, but they almost seem flattered that someone wants to take their photo. They're happy about it. Yeah, I'll tell you what happened to Tracy. I think Tracy's figured this out too. Is the last time I was down there, or when I was down there, I was handing out things, and she said there was somebody sending me a package from Oregon. It was a guy that, I think she said lingerie. I don't care what they send him. That's their business. I try not to open packages if I can, but if there's not a name on them, I really don't have any choice. So I gave her all her stuff. You saw the video I uploaded of the thank you. And as I was pulling away, I just happened to glance back, and here's a package from Oregon. And I thought, God, that must be it. I don't really get too many packages from Oregon, so I stopped and I yelled to her. I said, hey, Tracy, here's the package from Oregon, and I gave it to her. Well, I found out the next day that package wasn't for Tracy. It was for Sharon. But the thing that really turned me off on Tracy is that she drives me nuts with texts and phone calls, where I'm at, when I'm going to be there, how long is it going to be, did you get anything, which I understand. They need the money, they're excited, they want whatever's sent to them. I get that. So I tolerate it, and I answer them back, and Tracy does that probably more than most of the women do. So here Tracy has been driving me nuts that whole day. She gets that package, and I'm assuming now, opens it up right away, or shortly thereafter, and she realizes that not only is there stuff in there that didn't belong to her and it had nothing to do with lingerie, there is a letter and a card written to me by a lady, and there's also a letter and a card written to Sharon. So Tracy took that package, and I never heard from her. So she knows that wasn't for her, and I'm not really sure of the time frame. And I know there's drug problems, and I know there's, issues living on the street, but I'm telling you, I got certain things, like with Casey and Jana, when that happens, best of luck to you. I mean, I can't help everybody, but when you would knowingly take a package that wasn't meant for you, even if you'd have just called and said, hey, I took this shit, I sold it, but here are the cards and the letters, I'm sorry, but she didn't. So in my mind, that's probably going to be it between me and Tracy. No, I don't work, nope. Yeah, I wouldn't really say it's getting burned. And let me tell you, I'm a really kind of a impatient hothead, but not when I get down here. And I don't know why. It really changes me. I'm more patient, and in the back of my mind, I always hang my hat on, and these are addicted working women, and with that, they get a lot of rope. But that's just an element that just takes me out of feeling sorry for them because of their situation, and it's like a level of dishonesty. I guarantee you Becky wouldn't have done that. I mean, I think I can guarantee. I don't think Tassie would have done it. I don't think Jamie would do it. So I think it's my time to just in all honesty, I'm just not interested in dealing with her. That's a super huge turnoff. I don't wish her any ill will, but I'm not. I'll just find reasons not to cross paths with her now because of that. And I offered to reimburse the lady, which I hope she accepts. I'll send her a check or a PayPal or wherever is easy, and she can send the same package again, and I'll make sure that it gets to Sharon. But it just, just not doing it. Yeah, that's true, May. You're right. No. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's gonna be that way forever, but I find that I just find ways to stay away from them. I don't want to come down here and be dreading giving something to somebody because of an incident like that. So once I just tell people, look, I'm not going to be dealing with Tracy anymore, and they don't send things, I, I don't want to like be carrying around that baggage of crossing paths. I mean, I've cut Danette off before. I cut Kelly off before. It's just not worth it. Yeah, that's what I mean, John. Yeah, yep, that kind of thing. I don't know. I haven't talked to Kelly. I really don't know. Nope. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm so like, it's pretty hard to like. I don't. It's hard to budge my needle. I'm so desensitized to everything. Not a big deal, but enough of a deal that I don't want to fool with her. Yeah. I think she's already realized it because I saw her down there twice last night, and usually she'll text me or want to talk or $1 for a pop or something, and she didn't. So I got an idea somewhere along the way she's figured it out, or it just could be knowing what she did and that 3 weeks has went by, and then I would eventually figure it out anyway. It's hard to say. Yeah, it's right, Truth Seeker. Yep. Amanda's is doing great. She's in a relationship, working full time, off drugs, and living in Ohio with her mother. Yeah, I think I got some pretty good mods. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I also got about 5% left of my battery, so when this thing conks out, we're going on an hour and 18 minutes. That's going to be it until about an hour and a half from now, or an hour. Tassie's doing great. If you look, I did a live with. If you scroll back in the videos, I did a live with Tassie the other night, and then took her over to her boyfriend's. That's my gold standard of possibilities, which, by the way, I had nothing to do with. Yeah, I'm going to head back home, yep, as soon as I get out of here. Oh, were you, Miss Daisy? Wow. I think you're right, Cindy, yeah. I think that's right. Oh, yeah, Tassie's doing great. I mean, Tassie is like a unique personality. Tassie can do some shit, and when she flips that switch on, that was in the past and it's not going on anymore, you better believe it. There's women that would be seeing a psychiatrist till the day they died for 15 years working the street as a 15-year-old in Detroit. Tassie says it's all in her behind. She's upfront about it. She tells people what happened. If they don't like it, fuck them. It doesn't bother her a bit. I mean, I'm telling you, Tassie, Becky, they're all over the place. I could take them all and do a TED talk and it would set records. And they wouldn't need to have a note, a teleprompter, none of that shit. Just get up there and answer questions, especially Tassie. Yeah. Ginger is back on the streets, yes. Kimmy's, she just texted me. I'm going to call her. She had some real serious health complications. Was in the hospital for pneumonia, broke her ankle, trying to help a kid from falling, and I'm gonna call her after my battery charges up. Says Kimmy's a sweet, decent person. Hey Shaniqua, how you doing? Monica was hit and killed by a car. It's a nice place, George. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny with Tassie and her snacks. Yeah, it's funny, Denise. I was looking. I'm gonna get some T-shirts. I want to discuss that with you guys later. I'm not gonna make any money on them. I don't want to. That's the whole point. But it almost seems like good T-shirts or good embroidery is like expensive. And even if it's like a break even, I don't know that people would want to pay that much to have something decent. But I was just thinking of slogans from Tassie, man. Pizza and liquor all day, every day. Living in Brazil. Trump gonna Donald Duck, motherfucker. She's got like a bunch of statements that you just can't get out of your mind. But those could be cheap T-shirts because it's not like a logo or anything, and it just would be like, I would love to wear a T-shirt with a Tassie Man slogan on it. Or I like her to set it up as her own deal. Dungeon on Junction, that's another one. She said you need a floor plan, that motherfucker, to get out of there. She pried the plywood off to go in there and smoke crack. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know all about trademarks. Yeah, I don't really like into like, I'm not trying. I want to keep it like the same on my channel. I don't want to like turn it into some bullshit. If you look at these channels that sell memorabilia or logos, it's all a bunch of junk, cheap ass looking shit. It really is, man. That's the problem. The easy way to do it, if you were trying to make money, is like all drop shipped, all this bullshit. But everything I look at, you show me one channel that has decent stuff that you'd buy, and when it is decent, it's like $60 for a T-shirt. They got to be out of their fucking mind. By the time Google gets their cut, and all these other fuckers with their hands in the tail, it's like a goddamn decent T-shirt's $100. I don't want to get into that kind of bullshit. I want like the maximum quality, no profit, and a break-even deal, and even that's kind of not that easy. I get on where I'll spend a few hours trying to find a place and get moving on this, and then I get halfway through and it's like, this is nonsense, man. Nobody's going to want to pay this bullshit for these junk-ass T-shirts. Yeah, Teespring is total horseshit. Have you seen the crap they put out? These stupid, ugly-ass plastic mugs with Chosen One. I'd just rather blow my head off. Fuck. A big, giant, cheesy-looking C and just a cheesy-looking W on some piece of shit worth $1 that I'm trying to sell for $29.95. No thanks. No, Cricket's living with an older guy out in Adrian, I think. Kelly's old boyfriend. Fucking bullshit, man. Well, I'm down to 5%, so my screen went dark. But I'll charge this thing up, and he's probably working. I'll charge this thing up. I thought about just getting big giant vibrators, turbos, with a lithium battery that lasts forever, and just writing the whole Chosen out in big giant letters on the side of it and mailing them out. If you didn't use it the way it was intended, you could just use it as a hell of a gag gift at Christmas. But this T-shirt thing is looking more and more and more impossible because of the junk that's out there. Yeah, I think I might just go with my own packet of rubbers. KY jelly. And have a CW on it. This other shit's just, I don't see any way around it. It's just junk, or it's going to cost too much. I mean, I'm talking about cost too much, break even. Christ, if you tried to add a profit on any of this shit, it'd be even more ridiculous. Yeah, send me some of that homemade barbecue sauce, yeah. You know, I don't know. I've been out of that. I don't know what happened to Kelly's daughter. I've driven by there. I don't know. Yeah, sweatshirt's $60, man. It's like, what I thought about doing is just buying some really good ones, bending over, taking it up the ass, paying for them myself, and just kind of have like a little auction on the live chats and give the money to whoever you want it to go to. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Because I'm telling you, these things are not worth it. Every single scenario I've looked at. When I had a detective agency, I mean one where I actually worked it, there was a guy, it was a Harvard grad actually in Ann Arbor. It's up on North Main, and I tried looking him up, but I'm sure he went on to, it was 35 years ago, making a ton of money through some other way. But those are really kick-ass cool shirts. But so far, man, I've just been drawing a blank. I think I'm just going to go. I think that, and for the women, you know, just I want you to lay the groundwork now with your husband that the big 13-inch double dong with the supercharger on it. It's just a joke. I'm not trying to get anywhere with it. When that baby shows up in the mail, I'm going to put on it to addressee only. Yeah. Daisy, you ready to hit the highway, hon? Nah, that halfway house, man, I'm telling you, when that's another thing like t-shirts. You look into the reality of having one with insurance and bullshit. It'd almost be cheaper to buy him a suite at the damn Hilton. It's just not, it's really cost prohibitive. Plus you gotta babysit the damn place. Yeah, thank you. This thing's gonna die out any second. Yeah, thank you, Lynn. Double dildos. Yeah, Raven was a sweet girl. Yeah, she really was. Yeah. That reminds me, I gotta take the photos I have of Raven. I'm gonna send them to her sister. All the still photos I took of her. Daisy's gotten a bead on the old woodchuck. Yeah, so I'll be on like an hour and a half, something like that, hour. I might as well just turn this thing off now because it's going to go off any second. So have a good rest of your day, you guys, and I'll be on the way home or a little later. Thanks a lot.